Gentlemen, the time has come once again to discuss things.
You're a bastard, Mr. Green.
Let's sync up.
You really
1, 2, 3.
are a heel. You're as cuddly as a cactus. You're as charming as an eel, Mr. Green.
Alright, well on that note, hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Geeky Gentlemen. I am Sid Part 2. Joining me today is Mr. Steve Baxey. Steve, indeed. Steve, this is, I think, our last character discussion for holiday month. Who are we talking about today?
Today we are talking about Dr. Seuss's lovable green furball, the Grinch.
Indeed. So I did some proper preparation for this one. I'm sure Dr. Seuss would appreciate the alliteration. I went and reread the story. I rewatched the animated special, and while rewatching the animated special, I discovered that there was another Grinch. There were two more Grinch things. I only had time to watch one of them. Did you know there's a Grinch meets the Cat in the Hat story?
Yes.
I did not. I'm so shocked.
Have you never seen that?
No, not until 5 minutes ago.
Dang, that's hilarious. There's, I know there's a Halloween Grinch thing.
Yeah, and I haven't seen that yet.
Okay, yeah, I haven't seen that in years. I just knew I did at one point. There's that. There's the Grinch and the Cat in the Hat thing. And then there's like this... There used to be this old TV show that was basically just like a bunch of Dr. Seuss shorts, and the Grinch showed up in that a lot.
Huh, weird. Okay. I completely new revelation to me. I did not know there was anything besides the Christmas special.
That's the only thing that matters.
It really is. And I think the reason why is because Seuss helped write the animated special. So it's that thing where it's actually better than the book.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, I was not sure if I was gonna start some shit right there.
No, I mean, look, you've got Boris Karloff doing the voice. You've got that fucking song. At that point, it doesn't matter what else is there.
Yeah. I mean, just like, it feels so Seuss. Like, I was sitting there watching, like, okay, this is a lot more than the book. I'd forgotten how damn short the book was.
Yeah.
So this,
you get that thing read in like 10 minutes.
Yeah, this is like, really, it's a lot more than the book, but it still feels very Seuss. It's still got all the crazy contraptions and the ridiculous rhyme scheme and all that stuff. So I will say the best thing of the Grinch is the animated special. I mean, it's freaking Chuck Jones.
Yeah.
Everything about that.
It's fantastic, and it looks beautiful. Like, they remaster it every year to come out during Christmas, and every time it just looks beautiful.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I completely agree. So, yeah, the Grinch is, like, my favorite holiday character, and maybe there's just something to the whole reluctant person that's, like, needs to learn the meaning of Christmas to be a better person. Because, like I said, Christmas Carol is my favorite, like, Christmas story, and the Grinch is my favorite Christmas character. And I also really like the Larfleeze Christmas special. It's the same damn thing every one. It's just the character learns the meaning of Christmas. And so I really appreciate that. I don't know, what do you think?
I mean, I agree with you. I love the idea that there's this meme that's been going around of technically the Grinch didn't hate Christmas, he just hated people, and that's fair. And I kind of like that. We're like, there's very little about that character where he's like, he hates the idea of Christmas despite saying that. He really just kind of hates the Who's. Mm-hmm. And that's fun. The whole, it's extremely cheesy, but I think it's really sweet. And I kind of like, in both cases of The Grinch and A Christmas Carol, I like that their character arcs have basically become nouns and verbs. Like, you're a Grinch and you're a Scrooge. Like, I like that.
Yes. That's the thing, is like, it's just, it's so damn universal now. When someone says, don't be a Grinch, you know exactly what they're talking about. There's no one alive in this country, I think, that doesn't know the Grinch, what that means, you know?
Yeah, and those are both just made up letters and words for those stories, but they have their own meaning now. Like, you don't have to read or see the Grinch to know what it means to be a Grinch.
That is really impressive that it transcends that, isn't it?
Oh yeah, sure.
Wow, yeah, that's a good point. It's just become a verb. Man.
That's kind of the thing I like about 2000s and millennial culture in general, is that we turn so many classical concepts into verbs, like adulting. and puppies become puppers. Like, I love that idea.
Yeah, it's cool. So the Grinch's character arc is something I find really interesting, just because, you know, you're right. I don't even think that it's that he hates people. I think the commentary is on the whole commercialization of the holiday. The idea that it's all about just the stuff. And this is one of the things that the Jim Carrey movie just impressively misses the point of, right? Like, you know, I have a lot of respect for Jim Carrey for what he was able to do with that movie as far as just portraying the Grinch, and he is not anywhere near the problem with that film. But, like, the fact that in that movie, the Who's don't know the meaning of Christmas. The Who's are depressed about the fact that the holiday has been stolen from them. And, like, that's just so not the point. The whole point is, it doesn't matter, the stuff doesn't matter. The point is that it's Christmas, that we're together.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm just so shocked that, like, something missed what was really apparent in, like, a 20-page children's book.
They try to... That movie does a little bit too much in that it tries to make Cindy Lou Who the whole, like, heart of the Who town, and that, or Whoville, and none of them get what Christmas is about except her, and they're all, like, in despair at the end until she talks them up, and then they learn the meaning of Christmas in that moment with the Grinch.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of those things where, like, I don't think you're as smart as you think you are.
Yeah. It is just really, really flat. It doesn't get the point that it's not just one person. It's supposed to be the whole community. It's supposed to be the heart of Christmas, not the stuff. And the fact that it has to be explained to them is a problem, because then it's not the Grinch going through a character arc, it's the goddamn civilization.
Yeah.
And that's silly. And, you know, Rasco and I talked about the live-action Grinch movie last year. Did you know they're making another one? They're making a CGI Grinch movie?
Yes, with Benedict Cumberbatch. We just got a couple of stills released from that.
Oh, yeah? I don't know how that's going to be.
He looks so much younger, I'm kind of weirded out by it.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's just that one promotional image or what the idea is, but I'm not pleased right now with what I've seen.
I mean, we barely know anything, so I'm kind of just sort of, like, waiting and seeing. Like, I don't know the director from anything. I don't know the writers from anything. I don't know... Like, the only people at production that have any name recognition whatsoever are Danny Elfman and Benedict Cumberbatch.
Danny Elfman's doing music for it?
Yep.
Well, prepare to go from Bahu Borhu to la 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 la.
Yeah. Like, I know that the animation guy for that has done a lot of animation, but I just don't know him personally. So
Gotcha. I don't know. Well, it's not right to judge something before you see anything from it. It's just like, wow, that is... The promotional images I have seen, it's like, that is not the Grinch.
He just looks too adorable, right?
Yeah, like the tag is like he gets a lot meaner, but I'm like, what? What are you doing? I don't understand.
Yeah, I'm confused by it,
Yeah.
but we'll see how it goes. If nothing else, Benedict Cumberbatch is a really good idea to play the Grinch if you're not going to get Jim Carrey.
Fair. I'd give it that. I don't know. It's kind of weird. Like, I think Boris Karloff just did it perfectly. He's got just so the right tone for it. And admittedly, he doesn't have to speak a lot of lines as the Grinch, so maybe it's just not fair to compare them.
Well, he's also the narrator in that, so he talks a lot.
Yeah, but it just, like, as far as playing the Grinch, though, the animation
Yeah.
does, like, 90% of the work for him.
Yeah, no, that's fair. We'll see. I have a little bit more optimism in it just because I feel like at this point everyone should recognize why the Jim Carrey movie was awful. So I doubt they're going to fuck up to that level. But at the same time, you're never going to outdo that original, like, 20-minute special.
Right, and that's the thing, is, like, trying to adapt Dr. Seuss to hour-long formats is just bizarre, because there's not enough story for it. It's a simple story. You're going to have to add stuff no matter what you do, and at that point, you're killing yourself.
One of these days, I'm going to pick this as a topic to review on the show, because I keep talking about it ever since I started seeing them last year. But there's this new Peanuts TV show that basically adapts all of the strips, except adds, like, some abstract watercolor to it. And it's just, like, 3 to 5 minute shorts of just all the strips. They even, like, maintain the panel grids and everything, and just insert small amounts of animation.
Weird.
I feel like we should do that with Dr. Seuss stuff.
Yeah, that would be so much better. It's such a weird idea to me to try to stretch what's, a 30-page story into an hour-and-a-half movie or something. And
yeah.
I don't know. Okay, what else can we talk about with the Grinch? Let's talk design. Do you prefer the original Seuss design, or is it the Chuck Jones for you, or what?
Chuck Jones.
Yeah.
I grew up on that. I saw that special countless times before I even read the book.
Yeah, Chuck Jones just kills it. Like, it's not just the design, it's the shading. That is, like, the perfect shade of green. Like, I watched the Cat in the Hat one, it's like this olive color. It's like, no, it's gotta be just greener than green.
Yeah, I agree. It's just, it's really radiant, and it's not too sketchy, and it's perfect for that voice and everything. I love it.
Yeah, and, like, it's so weird to me, because while I was trying to find images for the thumbnail, I was like, okay, I'll just find, an image of the Grinch from the book that works. And I'm, like, looking through images of the Grinch in the book, I'm like, wait, it's all in black and white with just splashes of red? What? I had, I'd so blocked out the book from my memory, I just assumed that it would be in color like the special. That was bizarre to me. I was not ready for that.
Well, and then the other specials that he shows up in, the color just doesn't seem right.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all Chuck Jones. Chuck Jones is a genius.
Yeah. I love Chuck Jones. It's fantastic stuff.
Yeah. There's something to me about the Grinch in the Santa Claus outfit. Like, I remember when I worked at Goodwill, a customer brought me in a Christmas card, and it was like a redrawing of the Grinch in the Santa outfit, and I loved it so much I just kept it, year round.
See, and that's the other thing with the Jim Carrey version that I think sort of misses the point, where it's not just that he's sickly green and furry, it's that all of the coloring and light around that film is like fucking neon.
Yeah. Yeah. Ugh. And, like, it's a pain, because I gotta give the makeup crew props, because that looks like, if you were to imagine the Grinch in live action, I cannot possibly think of a better way to do it than they did for Jim Carrey. Like, they get every detail right. The fingers, they perfectly realize the snout, the kind of like dog face snout. And what really, really oversells it is Jim Carrey's able to act through all that makeup. So design-wise, they did a fantastic job on the Grinch for that.
Oh no, I agree. There's a lot production-wise that movie deserves credit for. It just so happens that cohesively it's awful.
Yeah. I don't know, you take us somewhere, Steve.
So the song is ridiculously catchy.
Oh yeah.
And it's really, really hard to, like, there's remixes of it and there's covers of it. It's never as good as it is in that original.
See, I'm gonna actually take a small stand against you there. One of my favorite modern bands, That Handsome Devil, did a cover of The Grinch. And they do really good covers, Steve. Because they totally make it their own. Like, it's just really cool in the way it opens with... And I'm going to try to use it for this episode. But it opens with God forbid, saying, "You're a bastard, Mr. Grinch." And, like, that's the only time it gets, like, really explicit or anything, but it's just, that's a great way to open it, man.
That's fair. I haven't heard that one. I know I've heard the Misfits cover of it, and I hated that one.
Yeah, I don't know. They really make it their own, because they don't change too much about it, but it still just sounds very That Handsome Devil. But yeah,
and then part of the reason that song works is also because Dr. Seuss wrote that too.
Yeah, and it's so damn insulting. If I had a choice between you and a seasick crocodile, I'd take a seasick crocodile. What the hell would that even be like? Like, is it a crocodile that throws up and then tries to eat you because now it's hungry? Like...
It's like the meanest shit. I love it. And he's just like reveling in the song as it's playing. It's the best.
Mm-hmm. It is really, really good. It's, you know, what other... Like, there are a bunch of different songs about Santa, but the Grinch song so perfectly epitomizes that character. You know, Seuss really, really brought his A-game back when they did the special. It's kind of crazy.
Well, and Seuss does this other thing where he's a master at making all of these short, very few word rhyming stories. And I don't have a problem with this, but he cheats by making up words most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
And the Grinch special is one of those rare times where he keeps that to a minimum, and it really shows how well he knows his stuff.
Yeah.
Like, that whole song, I don't think he makes up a single word.
You nauseate me, Mr. Grinch. Lasty, nasty sock? Maybe? It's a little bit of a stretch, but nasty, wasty sock or something like that.
Yeah, I would have almost turned that to accent because I've heard people talk like that, but still, it's nowhere near as bad as like some of his other stories. Like Cat in the Hat makes up words left and right.
Yeah, you're right. Man, this is a really hard character to talk about because, you know, the two good things are just like so short. Even the half-hour special is just so short.
Well, what would you, if there was like a some sort of option, like, okay, you got a 15-minute short, make a sequel to The Grinch, what would you do?
It's hard because the ending's so perfect. He learns the meaning of Christmas and it's done, and that's kind of what makes the Cat in the Hat thing so weird. Is it's either a prequel where he forgot his lesson or a sequel where he forgot his lesson. So I don't know what you do with the Grinch that doesn't contradict the original.
Or get too full of itself and start exploring mythology that doesn't need to be explored.
Yeah, like, can you have the Grinch saves Christmas? Like, could you do that?
Be down for that, but save it from what?
I don't know. Santa slips and dies on a roof, so the Grinch becomes Santa Claus.
There's the Cat in the Hat special and the other like short Dr. Seuss specials that used to come on TV. One of the problems I have with their version of the Grinch that's like in this weird in-between state with learning his lesson is that they basically characterize him like Wile E. Coyote.
Yeah.
And that seems like a very natural place to go if you had to make a sequel to the Grinch where like you said, he's already learned his lesson, he knows what he's doing, so the only way to like make him sort of in line with who he was before the short and after is to make him Wile E. Coyote.
Mm-hmm. That could work. If I'm really stretching, since I'm just making stuff up that'll never happen anyway. So I want to write a sequel to the Larfleeze Christmas special where he learns the true meaning of Christmas and starts spreading it throughout the galaxy, and then he goes to a planet where all the aliens look vaguely like Dr. Seuss characters, and then he has to stop a version of the Grinch from stealing Christmas.
That's kind of awesome. I like that.
Just throwing that idea out there.
But yeah, there isn't a lot of stuff with the Grinch to really go with because the story is so simple and it's kind of perfect where it is. There doesn't need to be a lot more either.
Mm-hmm. He is one of those characters and again, this is the problem with trying to adapt it to something like even the half-hour special. Like, does he really need to rant about what the Who's will do? Because like that's we talked about it. Like his whole thing about he doesn't hate Christmas, he hates people. Well, it's really unsure if he hates Christmas or people in the original story, and it turns out that he hates the way people act around Christmas, the noise they create and all the bullshit. So like even that isn't totally necessary. It just fleshes him out more. So like even stretching it just to a half hour extended things quite a bit more than they possibly needed to be.
Yeah, I mean pacing-wise, despite how short that whole thing is, it's really slow in part because it tried to, like, add to it or have more of that, like, Grinchy rant or the tree falling in the beginning and the snowflakes coming down really slow and all that shit.
I mean, I think that stuff just works just because it holds your attention really well. I think it's got slow moments, but I think it's well-paced because it knows when to pick back up.
Oh, no, and I agree. It's just a matter of, like you said, to extend it even that much requires a really methodical pace.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How do you possibly get longer than that? Yeah,
I really don't know. And so I feel like that's the problem with trying to do, sequel or spin-off stuff. It's just like, what is he now? Does the Grinch get bonked on the head and have to do the same thing over again? I don't know.
Yeah, and I just don't think there's a lot. Like, the whole heart grew 3 sizes that day. I feel like there just isn't as much entertainment factor in watching him do stuff after that.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, could you do Grinch with other holidays? Like, the only thing I keep thinking of is just crossovers. Like, I don't know, Jack Skellington meets the Grinch. I could go for that.
I'd be down for that. I'd probably want to keep that one short, too, though.
Yeah.
Just because I don't know how much mileage you get out of that.
Yeah, I don't know, just, like, it seems like they're both kind of that weird Christmas character kind of thing, and so you could probably do something with that, wherein they...
There's just some fun parallel to that, where, like, Jack tried to steal Christmas, except in a different way.
Yeah. So, I don't know, that could maybe work.
That'd be alright. I've never been the biggest fan of Nightmare Before Christmas or Jack Skellington as characters anyway, but you could do something there.
Yeah. I don't know, my mind just goes straight to crossovers, which usually is a way to tell that you have no ideas, because...
Well, and I don't mind doing more crossovers with other Dr. Seuss stuff. It just so happens that every time they did it, it sucked.
I don't know,
like,
Dr.
I
Seuss...
don't think the animated Cat in the Hat is any good.
Oh, the animated Cat in the Hat short, or just the...
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't think that's any good, and I don't think the way they elongated it is any good, because they make him too much of a, like, goody two-shoes cheesy character.
Mm-hmm.
Like, part of the charm of that book is that he doesn't entirely know how much of a dick he's being in the middle of all this stuff.
It's kind of funny. I think that the Cat in the Hat ride at Universal Studios is probably the best adaptation of the Cat in the Hat, and even then it looked kind of cheap.
That's probably fair.
Yeah, it was a little.
But like Cat in the Hat and Grinch meaning would be cool insofar as they're both characterized from their best version, like the Cat in the Hat book and the Grinch special.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then I don't know. There's other like, because Horton Hears a Who could technically, conceivably, just because they are all Who's crossover with the Grinch. I just don't know what you do with that.
Yeah, like, wasn't the live action movie, didn't they establish that Whoville is in a snowflake?
Yes.
Yeah, so I guess the snowflake could land on the flower. That'd be...
Yeah, that's possible. And then maybe not the Lorax. The Lorax is fucking dark.
Okay then. Alright, well, I don't really have a ton else to say. Recommendations. The book, the animated special, That Handsome Devil's version of the Grinch song. Do you have anything else you could possibly recommend?
No, that's about it.
Okay. Well, that was a surprisingly short episode. I thought I'd have more to say about that. I guess not, though. All right, Steve. Who are we going to talk about next time?
So next time we're not doing any more like themes or anything, right? Just
no,
like straight
themes
up
are over. No more themes. 3 months of themes is enough themes.
Is it though? Is it?
Like, it wouldn't be so hard if it wasn't 3 consecutive months, you know? Like, after 3 months, you're like, God damn it, I just want to talk about, like, this other thing, but now there's a fucking theme going on.
There's always a theme, don't you understand? Okay, so next time, let's come back and talk about Nightwing.
Oh, okay. Alright, cool. Sounds fun. Alright, everyone.
Cool.
Thanks very much for watching. Until next time, I'm the Philosopher.
And I'm the Exile.
And we're your Geeky Gentlemen. And we will be discussing things.
Ho, 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 ho! Merry Christmas!